think about the things that we used to do. And then I wonder why I'm standing here missing you. No doubt we had some good times, you and I. But now it's time to start a new chapter in my life. Even though we've grown so far apart, you know that you will always be deep within my heart. So even though I can't see you again, I still remember.
What's up, people? Once again, back in the building. You got Connoisseur Big U, CuzWeKin, the Open Bar, Sports Talk Edition. Thanks for coming out to hang out with me today. So, what are we going to get into today? I think we're going to talk the NBA awards. NBA awards just happened. That's where you got your MVP, your most improved player, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Had some surprise winners to me this year, but I think everybody that did win the award was very deserving of the awards that they won. So, let's get into it. With the first, I guess the most coveted award, the MVP, you had Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I don't know if I said that correctly, but I ain't gonna say it again. So if I didn't say it, you can correct me. They call him Greek Freak. I know Giannis, I know that part. The other part with all the AT, all them letters, I said it one time. Play it back, listen to it if you want to, but I think that's close. He won the MVP. Props to him. Shout out to the Greek Freak. I think it was deserving. You had others in the race like James Harden, Paul George, but I think overall for leading his team to the best record in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, and then advancing in the playoffs, I think he did deserve that award because aside from him on that team, he was probably the most consistent player, and I think he led them in like almost every statistic. So I guess that's what the MVP, the most valuable player, that should be that. For the Rookie of the Year, you had Luka Doncic. Now with all these foreign, I'm gonna have to take some foreign language and become multilingual to say all these names of the people that are winning these awards. Now the NBA, the face of the league has changed, so Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks won the Rookie of the Year. You had other people in the race like Trae Young from Atlanta and DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns. So you had a big guy in there, which surprised me in this type of league that most of the time you have guards that win these awards and stuff. So Luka Doncic is a forward, and shout out to my man Trae Young. He went to my alma mater, Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner. So Luka Doncic did bring that home. He was very, very versatile and dynamic during the season. Scored a lot, filled up the stat sheets for Dallas, and I guess moving forward, him and Porzingis, who was traded to Dallas from the Knicks, there'll be a formidable duo for Dallas to come. Sixth Man of the Year, for that award, you had Lou Williams won. I think he won the award before. He's one of those guys that he comes off of the bench as the sixth man, but he plays a lot of minutes and he scores a lot of points. I think he might have led the team in scoring, actually. Led the Clippers in scoring, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up. Let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm right. Comment down below. But Lou Williams is doing his thing. He's been doing this thing for years out of that position. Close in the running, you had people like Montrezl Harrell, and also the Metis Sabonis. These names again, don't hold me to these names. I think it was Demetis Sabonis. Arvydas Sabonis is his father. He played for Indiana. He was one of the great players for that team out of that six-man position. In the Defensive Player of the Year, you have Rudy Gobert, a big 700 feet tall French guy playing for the Utah Jazz. Not a surprise that he won that award. That guy blocked shots, shored up the defense for the Utah Jazz, did a lot of good things for that team, so props to him. In the running up for that, you had Giannis, the Greek Freak. I told you I wasn't going to say his last name again. And you also had Paul George. So that shows the versatility in some of these players that are in the top, the upper echelon of the league. So Paul George and Giannis, the Greek Freak, both were in consideration for the MVP, which Giannis won. And then both of these guys were in there in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year. So that shows that two-way players, I guess, are back in fashion. I don't understand how my guy Kawhi Leonard didn't make higher in the list on either one of those, because I think he's one of the best defenders in the league, and I think he should have got some MVP votes. He did kind of win the chip, but I guess they go by the regular season, so it is what it is. You got the most improved player of the year, and this award went to Pascal Siakam. God bless you. His name sounds like, again, another one of these names sound like an antibiotic or a voodoo curse that you want to put on somebody. His name sounds crazy, so props to Pascal for his win as the most improved player. In the running for that, you also had De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings and D'Angelo Russell from the now Brooklyn Nets. So, you had a lot of guys winning. Last but not least, and for me, I'm not going to get into all of the higher up awards, like the front end, the front desk awards. But the Coach of the Year went to Mike Budenholzer. I think that's how you pronounce that, Budenholzer, the Milwaukee Bucks coach, for getting that team from where they were to being the best record in the NBA, having the best record in the NBA. Even though I give some of that to Jason Kidd, because he kind of built that franchise before he left. The same way I give a lot of Steve Kerr's credit to Mark Jackson, because he kind of built that franchise before he left. But props to Mike Budenholzer, and I can't hate on the man for taking his team, deep into the playoffs and producing an MVP on the team. So I guess they give them some props for other people's props. So congrats to all. Salute. Good job, fellas. Keep it up. Keep doing your thing. Okay, so I know I mentioned on a couple of my videos that if you still want to get your basketball fix in, you got your basketball Jones going, and you need a fix, we got a couple of options still out there beside the NBA. The season is over, no more NBA, not at least until the Summer League, which starts up July 5th. But you do have other options such as the Big Three, which for some reason I was saying I think starts July 15th or something like that, but I'll be drinking. So you might not, when I say things on this video, depending on what part of the video it is, once it gets past about 5-6 minutes and you see me holding this, taking a couple of swigs, I'm doing this, I do that about 4 or 5 times. The things that I say after that, they may be entertaining, but you might want to fact check. You might want to hit your Google. You might want to ask Alexa. You might want to ask Siri or OK Google, some of the stuff that I say. But what I'm going to start doing moving forward is I'm going to challenge you guys that if you can find errors in the things that I do say during my video, if I do say some errors, and not like an opinionated type of thing where if I say, Kawhi Leonard is the best player, and you say, no, he's not, it's LeBron James, something like that, not something like that. But if I say, for instance, like I said, the Big Three starts in July 5th, whatever I said, 15th, I think it was, and it actually already started this past weekend on the 22nd. If you point out stuff like that, I'll find something cool to give to you guys. So, pay attention. If you find something that I say that's wrong, again, once it gets way deep into the video, I'm not responsible for the things that I say. But like I said, the Big Three did start, and it's quite entertaining. I know I did say that they had some new talent coming into the league. They got guys. I saw Joe Johnson, which is one of the greatest scorers, in this modern era. Mid-range, long-range, all that. Big guy. They have Lamar Odom. I saw Josh Smith, and I saw the other Jet, not Kenny, the Jet Smith, but Jason the Jet Terry, and all in there doing work. So that's something that if you are free and you can watch the games, they come on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you're free, look at your TV guide or check your cable or whatever and see where they come on, and then sit down and chill out with Ice Cube with them and check out the Big Three. Actually, I saw Reggie Evans, who was, he was a guy that played a lot of years in the league, pretty much as a glue guy. Got a lot of rebounds, but he had 22 points and 23 rebounds. And even last season when I was watching, that boy was doing work in there. So I don't know. In the Big Three, this may be, is it the return of the big man, old school basketball? Is that where, getting inside and you know, banging and being physical and things of that nature, is that in that league, is that where it's respected? Because I know in the NBA, when I spoke about that, it's all threes, dunks, and that type of stuff. You can't touch nobody. And the big three, they banging in there. So, you know, shout to Reggie Evans. I think he might have been in the running for the MVP of that league last year. I think Corey McGetty got it, if I'm not mistaken. Again, check. You know, might be worth something for you. But, yo, Reggie Evans is doing his thing. A lot of the big guys in there doing their thing. Again, Saturdays and Sundays, check it out. You won't be disappointed. And, you know, it's a league where big guys' physicality still matters. And I like that, because I like the old school game as opposed to the way the game has changed and metamorphosized into what it is now. You know, I still like basketball, but I do prefer the banging and physicality. Another option that I was talking about before was the ladies, the WNBA. Now, you know, I had Mojo on here. He said some things that, you know, I don't know if I agree with all that. You know, the ladies, I respect them. They're athletes just like everybody else. I know they run up and down in shorts and all of that, you know. But I try to keep my mind on the basketball side, you know. But they are playing well. The talent is up in the league. You know, they got players like Candace Parker out in LA, great small forward, probably one of the more known players in the league. You got Sue Bird on the Seattle Storm. I think they just won the championship, and she's been playing well for years in that league. You got Diana Taurasi, who's on the Phoenix Mercury for quite some time. Tina Charles out in NY. Shout to the Liberty, you know. Knicks fan. I'm a New York fan, period. So Knicks, Liberty, I'm with it. Unfortunately for the Liberty being in New York, they seem to be falling on the same woes as the New York Knicks. In the first 10 games of the season, they are 3-7. Yikes. But you know, girls, you know, keep doing what y'all doing. Props to you, and hopefully you guys will turn it around and get it back on track. I'm New York to the death till I die. You know, go Knicks, go Liberty, go Yankees, all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully they're able to turn it around. I also did read that Toronto, the championship, Toronto Raptors, the organization, is putting in a bid to start a WNBA team, which I guess, you know, this is probably a good time to do that, since they did just produce a champion NBA team. So they'll probably be able to, you know, however that franchise is running, that front office will be able to convince players that, you know, we know how to put together a champion here. And they might be able to draw some talent and be entertaining up there over the border. Okay, so you got the NBA awards just took place, and shout to all those guys that won awards. Great job. I think they're talking about doing away with the awards, or trying to get it changed up in some way, so we might not see it again next year in the same format that it was in this year. But it was enjoyable, and props to those guys. Big Three, like I said, it's playing now. It doesn't start in July at some point. So on Saturdays and Sundays, if you're looking for something to do and you want to check out some basketball, check out the Big Three. Those guys are doing it over there. And then again, you have, last but not least, you have the ladies in the WNBA. So, you know, NBA, Big Three, WNBA, or NBA, WNBA, Big Three, however, you know, whatever way you want to spin it. You do have some options to continue to follow basketball after that official season is over and that championship was won and all of that kind of stuff. So, as always, thanks for coming out, spending some time with me. Props to y'all. Good looking, cuz we can, many cannot. Open bar, as always, when you see us. You know, the drinks, the conversation, all that is on us. Peace. Holla at you guys.
Oh, yeah. I think about the things that we used to do, and then I wonder why I'm standing here missing you. No doubt we had some good times, you and I, but now it's time to start a new chapter in my life.